Today we have encountered a new in today's episode, y'all, we are replacing and installing a brand new power steering pump on a 2003 H2 Hummer. So before we get started on the Hummer, we got to give a shout out to Wolf. They're sponsoring this video with this tire gauge, Wolf's digital electronic tire gauge. So they were nice enough to bring me one of these, and I've got a deal for you, the viewer. But let's check this thing out. Let me tell you. So this tire gauge, it comes with a calibration certificate. I don't think you're going to find anything like that with any other tire gauge. Of course, how to install batteries, and yes, it does come with batteries and a user manual. Back of it just pops right off. It also has a Presta Schrader valve adapter. Install your batteries. The Wolf tire gauge is even great for your passenger vehicle tires, truck tires, car tires, any vehicle tires. Also, your Super Duty heavy equipment tires. This got a range of 0 to 200 psi. You can easily check just about anything you've got. You can also check RV tires. RV tires usually have a higher psi rating, and even with the Wolf, no problem. It's pretty much bulletproof. Run over it, still works great. With a flashlight on the end, there's no problem seeing where you need to check. And compared to traditional LED displays, the Wolf can be seen in direct sunlight. And an operating range between -4 degrees and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. There's no better tire gauge than the Wolf. So check them out. There's a link in the description below. So get your Wolf today before they're gone. The OEM is about 200,000 miles on it. It went out, leaving me with, of course, no power steering. Fortunately for the Hummer, they use the power steering with the power brakes. So you can still stop. It doesn't mean you don't have brakes, it just means you don't have power brakes. So today we are putting in a new pump. It is a hydro boost pump. Make sure if you are doing this project, you get the proper equipment to replace it with, because like I said, it uses the power steering fluid to provide power brakes. What we're going to attempt to do is we're going to take out the serpentine belt, release that, the power steering pump, your idler pulley, and your alternator are all in one big bracket thing bolted to the block. So we're going to take few things off. We're going to take that whole bracket off with the alternator, idler pulley, and the power steering pump, unhook those lines, and then we'll be able to disconnect that power steering pump and remove the pulley. We will be using the same OEM pulley that was on it. Most power steering pumps do not come with a pulley. You use your other one, so we'll have to get that pulley off that shaft. So let's do this. All right, guys, so here in the engine compartment, we got a serpentine belt. Here's the the alternator. There is the power steering pump right there. There's the cap. I got about 3 lines. Where's that idler pulley at? There's the idler pulley. And this is the bracket. Where it says ground. All that is one big bracket in there. So we're going to take those two screws out, which hold that post, that ground wire off, that hot wire coming from the alternator, a few bolts, serpentine belt. You got those 3 hoses. You got a high pressure line, return line, low pressure, and then the hydro boost line, which comes up to your master cylinder. So we're gonna be working with just some normal sockets. I need some pliers, probably for the hose clamps. But hopefully this is all we're gonna need. May take that breather contraption off. Don't forget, you gotta take your cover off first, and then you can take that off. So your tensioner is a 15 mil. Alrighty. We'll leave that belt. Alright, belt's out of the way. Now that that's free, we've got 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and it looks like a 3rd bolt right down there in that hole. Yeah. Right there. I think there's just 3 bolts holding this thing on that I can see. Oh yeah, here's another thing, y'all. These things are composite pot metal. So like that ear that holds the alternator is broken, gone. So if you just happen to have an extra bracket, or maybe you bought a crashed Hummer for parts, but I think that one's been broken for a while, so it ain't hurting now, it ain't gonna hurt later. Yeah, that one right there is holding us. Yeah, there it is on the bottom. Get that off of there, should be good. Hold it straight up. There's the whole unit. All right, so we got it on the bench. I just took out these 3 bolts right here. They're 15 millimeters, and it holds the power steering pump to the bracket assembly. So there's my old pump. Here is my pulley. Now what happened to mine is my pulley shaft, the shaft broke. Forgive that, it's just where I was wiping it off with a paper towel or something. That little cloth right there. Anyway, the shaft is broke, so I'm gonna have to get a pulley puller and push that shaft out. That's how you take off your power steering pump, even if the pulley was still attached. As you can see, it just bolts right there. You can take it off, and you can put this pump on your bench, put it in a vise, pull that pulley off, and then we've got the new assembly right here. As you can see, it's going to go on that shaft, and we should be good to go. Put it in this vise, get this pulley puller on it, see if we can make it happen. There we go. All right, so now that we got the pulley off, we've got the new power steering pump, and I'm just putting it in this conglomerate bracket. Put it back together, then we'll press the pulley back onto the pump shaft. Time for the pulley. screw it in until the bottom's out, and then we'll screw this in and push that pulley on that shaft. So I'm gonna have to hold that pulley and wrench it. All right, guys, so now we're back at it. We've got the pump on the bracket, pulley pressed back on the pump. It's not hitting anything. Hopefully we've got it in the right spot, and the belt lines up with the other one pretty good. I have my new O-ring right there for that line, so I got to replace it. Yeah, see that? Yeah, that helps out a whole lot. Get that one started. Yeah. I don't understand that. Nope. This one's just a tad bit longer, y'all. Make sure you get your bolts in the right spot. That one is definitely longer. I don't know about y'all, but I know the gloves are great, but I can't feel nothing with gloves on. And I sure can't see that hole. I got my fingers. Finger tight. Gosh darn it. Alright guys, so I went ahead and tightened everything up. Got all the bolts in. Got some fluid in there. Now we need some more. Belts back on. Power steering is back. We're just trying to add fluid. And bleed the system. Air. once I got all the air bled out of the pump by letting it run and letting all those bubbles bubble out, check your fluid, make sure it's at proper level, put the cap on. I've had no issues out of it. Putting it all back together was the same as your 3 hoses. Make sure you got your low pressure line in on your pump, your hydro line in from your brake booster master cylinder going to the hydro line, and of course the high pressure line is that hard silver line. It's not a hose. Anyway guys, I hope this video helped you out on your project, on your Hummer project. More to come. Man cave is up. Updates on that if you guys are interested. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you. Don't forget, like and subscribe. I'll catch you guys later.